It's one of the most difficult words in the world for people to define. It's one of the most important words in the world. It's love. And I would say 98% of all evangelical, fundamental, born-again Christians in the world cannot define love. It's been 6, 7, 8 years since I found anyone in a random interview, pastors, seminars, everything, who could define love. To me, it's crazy. It is really crazy. Folks, if you can't define love, how do you know you're in love? You can't. If you can't define love, how do you know you're being loved? You can't. If you can't define love, how in the world do you know you even have a loving relationship? You can't. It is that critical. How do you define love? If I took a microphone here, it'd probably be no different than all the other seminars, churches I've done all over the world. If I had time to take a microphone, walk out into the audience, and I would ask you, define love, define love, define love. Almost always, 3 of the first 5 are these 3. Almost always, especially in a Christian audience. Define love, God. That's so bad. Well, God is love. That's right. But to define love by saying God is love is ridiculous. Why? Well, in this room right here, we literally have right here over 100 different definitions of love. So you'd have 100 different definitions of God and probably 99.9% wrong. God is love, but if you can't define love, folks, that's a meaningless statement. It's like saying God is factor X, fill in the blanks. Then if I went around and said define love, always get this, and usually they puff up their shoulders a little bit and say, oh, Josh, it's 1 Corinthians 13. That's so bad. Have you ever studied 1 Corinthians 13? Show me one verse where it defines love. It doesn't. You say, what? That's the love chapter. Yeah, it might be to you, but maybe not so in the Bible. Not one verse defines love. You see, in 1 Corinthians 13, it shows what love does, not what love is. It doesn't define love. What is it that produces the fruit of 1 Corinthians 13? Patience, kindness, think of the other, etc. Those are the fruits of love. What is it that defines that? Then if I came out in the audience and said define love, especially among younger people, this always comes up. Well, Josh, it's a feeling. That's so bad. If love were a feeling, God could not command it. You say, what? You can't command an emotion. You can't command someone, feel better. Your mother can say, you're going to eat your liver. She can make you eat your liver. I mean, not yours, but I mean, the one on your plate. Yeah. Anyway, you're going to eat your liver and you're going to like it. She can't tell you that. She can't make you like it, but she can make you eat it. Now, love can result in a feeling, but love is not a feeling. How do you define it? For God to be able to command something, for anyone to be able to command something, it has to be a what? Come on, you know it. An action. Who said that? An action, the result of a choice. It has to be a choice. To command someone to do something has to be a decision, a choice that results in an action. So love has to be a decision that results in a choice. Now, what is that decision, that choice, that action? To show you how important it is, they did a study of evangelical, fundamental, born-again Christian young people. 38% said if you truly love someone, it makes sex right. These are Christian kids. If you truly love someone, it makes sex right. You know the irony of that? Now think of it. Of that 38%, 99.9% of them can't even define love. But they said if you have what you can't even define, and you really don't know what it is, but if you have it, it makes sex right. That's what they're saying. That's so crazy. Here's one of the problems. I'll go into a congregation or a church or more of a seminar and a conference, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20,000 people. And I'll say, now I want you all to be honest with me. If you raise your hand, I might ask you what it is. I will say, how many of you here have had your pastor from the pulpit not talk about love? Everyone in the world talks about love. But I said, how many of you have had your pastor from the pulpit define love? And maybe 2 at the most, 3 hands will go up. Always. Doesn't matter what country, what culture, what state, what denomination. And they'll say, well, let's go a step further. How many of you here, well, let me ask you right here. If you raise your hand, I might ask you what it is. How many of you right here have had your parents not talk about love, but have had your parents distinctly define love for you? Three hands. Give me the definition. Positive regards. I bet you could stretch that into love. Folks, do you see the problem with this? Every pastor preaches, every parent teaches, every teacher teaches. You should be a loving person. You should love others. You should love your neighbor. It should be a mark of our church. We should be a loving church. Husbands, you need to love your wives. Fathers, love your children. And we never define it. No, do you realize how dangerous that is? You know what we've done, the body of Christ, all over the world? We have taught and preached. You should be a loving person, love your neighbor, love your wife, love your children, love others. That should be the mark of our church, the body of Christ, love, and nobody defines it. We have literally let the world define love.